Joining us now is political analyst Brian. So, Brian, thanks for being here. This really is a big opportunity for candidates to make a move. We are coming off last night's debate, heading right into another one tonight. Is there a leading candidate that's starting to emerge?
Well, first, it's very unusual to have a doubleheader like this. Last night followed by tonight, and you're going to get a lot of the animus spillover from last night tonight. But what we're seeing in this race is that Xavier Becerra has been making a very strong move with the exit of Eric Swalwell, and has been the big beneficiary of Swalwell leaving the race. And so he's up at the top, and we're looking at a number of polls, but along with Steve Hilton, the Republican, followed by Chad Bianco and Tom Steyer, who, by the way, today received the endorsement of Willie Brown. I think that'll help him. And then Katie Porter. And then you have these other people, including Matt Mahan and Tony Thurmond and Villaraigosa, all of whom are really at the bottom end of this and probably only take away some votes from these people at the top of the top.
Yeah, and I guess, obviously we're seeing Xavier Becerra rising in the polls. We obviously have Steve Hilton, who's continuing to lead in the polls as well. But one of the questions I think I have is whether some of those folks who are in that kind of middle tier, folks like Tom Steyer, like Katie Porter, did they do anything? Did you see anything from those candidates last night in this debate where you might see a possibility they can make a push here in the final weeks?
Alex, no. I think it was a kind of tit-for-tat sort of debate forum last night. Democrats having to go after Democrats because perhaps only one Democrat really emerges here against Hilton. And that's how this is starting to shape up. So that's why you see a lot of attacks on Becerra, and you see a lot of attacks on Tom Steyer. You saw Katie Porter go after him very hard. You saw Villaraigosa go after a couple of the candidates who he thinks he can maybe jump over. But at this point, it's tough. Villaraigosa going after Becerra was very interesting, contrasting his time as mayor of Los Angeles with Becerra's time as head of Health and Human Services and what they've done for California. So you see all of this going back and forth. And we'll see whether that resonates. I was listening to the person that was in the package talking about waiting a little bit for making a decision. We'll have to see whether a lot of people are doing that. But right now, we believe between 14 and 17%, based on polling, are still undecided.
Yeah, and I wonder if those undecided voters will even get any more closer to their answer after tonight, given what we saw last night. And I'm curious, what is the issue that you think voters care about most here? Are the candidates supposed to be focusing on affordability, housing? What would you say is the biggest issue?
Well, those two things, but they're also looking at the gas price. They are looking at crime still. They are looking at a weak reaction to numerous disasters, declared disasters in California. But at the end of the day, they're looking for leadership. They're looking for somebody to jump out in these debates and really look like a leader. And maybe to that point, Becerra, who's up at the top in terms of polling, also in terms of unfavorability, is very low. So a lot of people, they may not know him, but it isn't that they dislike him. That is not true for some of the other people in the race. So at this point, we're still waiting to see whether one or two of these Democrats will emerge out of all of this. And then there's another debate on May 14th. And maybe that's about it. We'll have to see. But people are going to be making a decision, Christina, really, really quickly now. Despite some people saying, "Hey, I'm going to wait," a lot of people vote early.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that ballots are already out, they're sitting on people's kitchen counters as we speak right now. How much pressure does that put on all the candidates, really, even the folks who are in the lead theoretically in this race?
It's a good question, and you could see it in radio advertising, television advertising, social media. I don't think you can log on to anything without first having to sit through a commercial for one of the candidates. It is just coming in hot and heavy. And if you look at the spending in this race, we're looking at Tom Steyer, the billionaire, who has spent in excess of $130 million, maybe more at this point, because more reports will come. But it's an incredible amount of money to spend on a race. Only eclipsed in the case of Steyer by Meg Whitman, if you remember her, back in 2010. And she actually outspent, to this point, Tom Steyer. So huge amounts of money, and these people all have to make a move very, very quickly.
Yeah, time is running out. Okay, we'll be watching closely tonight. Brian Silwell, we always appreciate your insight. Thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Okay, moving now to San Francisco. The nightlife industry in the city is roaring back